Another technique that will make your stories absolutely come alive will be to act out or portray some of the other characters in your story. For instance, let's go back to the Oscar story. Wasn't Oscar a wonderful character? Did you feel him? Did you relate to him? It was very simple for me to become Oscar because all I had to do was shrink my shoulders just a little bit and change my voice just a little bit. And now I'm Oscar. The challenge is to remember to make that subtle transition. And the transitions that I want to talk to you about they're not quick transitions, they're subtle movements. They're shifts, which means slow down, make the transition, take your time, become the other person, step into their energy, step into their body. So when I talk about Oscar, I've already set up that he's 6 feet tall, but he used to be 6'1", but he shrunk a little bit over time. Having given that to you as data in your brain, you've now got that in your brain. It's like, oh, he shrunk a little bit. When I become Oscar, all I have to do is, I know you're all frustrated with the changes that are going on. A simple change in posture, a simple change in voice, a little bit of change of rhythm and tempo, and you've got another character. Now let's go to the streaking story and the director. The director is a very large, very loud character, very different from Oscar. Younger, more vital, more vibrant voice, loud, and he's also talking to a room full of 40 people who are milling around on a floor. So how do I make the transition? One of the ways that you make transitions is what I call the 360-degree turn. So when I want to become the director, all I have to do is set up, and the director makes his entrance. All right, everybody, come on, gather around. Come on, folks, let's go. And as I start to make a 360-degree turn, I don't wait till I've come around. I give you as out narrative, and the director makes his entrance. That's the data that you need to understand what is about to take place. And then I simply start to walk, and the minute I start to turn, I am shifting from Doug to him. Notice how quickly his voice emerges. And so the director makes his entrance. All right, everybody, listen up, come on. How far did I go in my turn before I was his voice? I hardly went anywhere. I literally went this far, and by the time I've turned my shoulders, I am, with voice and with energy, the other character. All right, everybody, come on, let's gather around. Yo, you guys, all right, everybody, come on, cease your conversations. Let's go. That's it. Look at my body. Same body, different person. You know what I'm using to affect this change? Your magnificent imagination. It is absolutely unlimited in its ability to suspend reality and believe whatever I ask you to believe. That's why you and I can watch Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and watch environments that don't exist and characters that aren't real, and yet somehow we suspend our disbelief and we go there. So these are a couple of devices. You make a transition from one character to a next with a little physicality, with a little 360-degree turn, and sometimes with a little bit of space on the stage. Space in silence. Now, did you notice that when I became Oscar, you became the employees at his annual meeting? Did I need to tell you that? I don't need to say it because you use your intuitive intelligence to intuit it. You understand. If there's anything that you get out of all of these modules that I'm teaching you, the intuitive intelligence of your audience is the most powerful thing that you could learn. They figure things out. They are smart. As a matter of fact, their intuitive intelligence is at a genius level. Now, their left brain IQ might not be. They might not be the smartest person in the room. They might not have a lot of degrees and all kinds of stuff. They might be right brain, creative, crazy people like me. But their intuitive intelligence is so mature that you can count on that. Many times you're going to have a character that you become who is speaking to a room full of employees or an audience in a speech or whatever. And that room full of people becomes whoever you want them to be simply with the transition. When the director turns around, who is he now talking to and who are you? You're the actors in the room. Do I have to tell you you're the actors in the room? No, because when he turns around, he says, all right, everybody, come on, gather around. You have enough data from my narrative to understand that there were 40 people in the room, and now he's talking to them, and you have become them. I've just given you a job. You're now the actors in the room. Maybe some of you wanted to be an actor and never got to be. This is your moment. You got to be in acting class. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? What happens? This dynamic between speaker and audience, if you understand how to use this correctly. So when you are going in and you're becoming Oscar, but you're looking at your audience, it is now an in moment, but everybody in the room is no longer the audience in the room that you're talking to. They are now the employees at his annual meeting. They are now the actors. So it's still an in moment. But it looks like I'm still talking to you guys and you guys are the audience in this room. No, it has changed. But where has it changed? In your interpretation of what's going on. What this requires from you is you know what you're doing and you commit. Commit. You must 100% say, I'm going to do this, and then they're going to be this, and then I'm going to go here, and you do it all with absolute confidence and commitment. Where do you get this confidence? Rehearsal. You polish your brilliance. Now, yesterday I said 2 hours for every 1 minute of a story. And I said to you, that is conservative. Do you now know why I said 2 hours for every 1 minute? Now, some of you in corporate America, some of you who are leaders in your organization are looking at me thinking, are you nuts? I have a job. I have lots of responsibilities. I got emails. I've got contracts. I've got people to manage. I got stuff coming at me from all over the place. I got 27 people who want my time. And you're saying, go spend 2 hours per minute on a story for some meeting that I'm going to do? How much money is that meeting worth? How much money is a loss of productivity worth to you? What could possibly be more important than to get the story and the presentation right? What could be more important? Nothing can be more important than nailing that presentation. I just worked with a guy who was going after angel investors in a competition for $25 million. Do you think perhaps it was worth 10 hours of preparation to win $25 million of angel investing for a startup company? Do you think it might have been worth it? And yet sometimes we go into these meetings that we're going to have internally and you think, this is just another meeting. It's just another meeting. It says, I just got to get through this. I'll just throw some PowerPoint slides together. It's just another meeting. Is it really just another meeting? What are the stakes? What happens when morale is low? How much does that cost you? Productivity plummets. These techniques that I'm sharing with you will make you money. Story theater is storytelling that means business. This technique will help you be more productive and more profitable. If you want to improve your bottom line, use these techniques.